You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
Lying dog-faced pony soldier? That's right up there with Charlie Sheen's droopy-eyed, armless children. If Biden is the Democrat who ends up going head-to-head with Trump, which is seeming increasingly likely, what do you think will be his downfall, or ultimately, what are you looking to enjoy? At this point, I just want to let the games begin. And I will say this, I don't know about you, Joe Biden, I don't think he would win, but I don't have the same kind of, disdain for him like I do for Nancy Pelosi or AOC or even Barack Obama. He's probably the least consequential Democrat I can think of. He's just there.
I agree. And we're starting to feel a little sorry for him, too. A little bit.
I do feel sorry for him. You know? Until you realize that Joe Biden, Vice President Joe Biden, this is what I want to talk about. He hates his own voters. This is what's so funny. We're going to go through some clips, the top 5 clips that are these aren't examples of him chastising, of him berating people who oppose him.
Right.
These are people who support him.
These are his people.
So
can you imagine if we had video of Trump supporters?
He visited an automotive plant. He was talking to potential voters ahead of a primary, right?
Yeah.
And then he flipped out when a worker asked him about guns. Telling him that he was full of crap and this is a guy who's there. Keep in mind, this is a guy there to see Joe Biden, and he threatens to slap him in the face. Here you go.
You are actively trying to diminish your Second Amendment right and take away your gun. You're for he just clarified it.
So never mind that there are no AR. Did you say AR-47?
He said AR-47.
Never mind that there are. I think it was AR-12 or AR-13 is what Cenk Uygur said. That's an easy mistake to make if you know nothing about firearms, even though you seek to legislate them.
Don't know numbers.
The most pivotal thing there is that he was threatening to slap one of his own voters in the face.
Not to slap you in the face.
Here's another example. So to be clear, this is example number 5. We'll go through 5 examples. This is an event. Someone asked Biden about divorce. Now, to be clear, this guy was kind of trolling Joe Biden.
A little bit.
But when Joe Biden says what you see here, he didn't know it at the time.
Well, could we just get this out right now because we're live?
No, we're live. I'm beginning to see why your wife left you.
What? Here's the thing. He didn't know at the time that it was trolling. It'd be like someone would be like, oh, no, I get why your first wife is deceased. Wow. Why would you
Thanks
do
a lot.
That? And by the way, something that does concern me, we've talked about how he had dementia. Now it's the cool thing to do. I was a Joe Biden dementia hipster. I was talking about it before it was cool, where I said I'm genuinely concerned for him.
Yeah.
If you notice in these, it's him not finishing phrases.
At all.
Yeah, and he
Going, no, I'm not doing. Oh. Yeah. That's how he just finishes his phrase.
Yeah,
that's what's concerning to me. Not that he's saying things that are nonsensical, but that he also, if you look at sort of the way that he is moving his mouth, it seems like his mouth doesn't work, like he's punch drunk.
Yeah, the nanobots can't control his mouth.
Yeah, he's losing his train of thought, and he's just stumbling along trying to find the right words.
Okay.
Like me on this show most of the time.
No, believe me, well, it's okay, it's comparable. So here's
You came that close, Gerald.
Almost.
Here's another, and there are several of these examples. There's so many that we had to just pick. I think we have 2 on this list, but here he is talking to one of his voters who has a question about oil pipelines. And by the way, this is also something you'll notice as a trend. His own supporters, if they ask him legitimate questions, he just dismisses them immediately, and right here he grabs the guys. Just watch the clip.
We got to stop building and replacing pipelines.
He grabs his jacket.
All right, thanks so much, sir. Guys, we're gonna have you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
I'm going to vote you in the general if you treat me right.
No, I'm not.
Well, can I have
Well, I'm not.
Asking a picture of me, coming up and tell me you don't support me.
No.
My plan. Yeah, you did. You said
I said I would support you in the general.
In the general. I'm looking for a primary.
We're happy to get a number. We can follow up.
That's what I'm looking for, okay?
Just because we're trying to get.
You believe that Bernie can do something by 2030?
I'm actually supporting Tom Steyer.
He got everything wrong in that clip. Everything. No, wait. You said you didn't support me. No. I'm just asking you a legitimate question about oil pipelines. This is kind of the reason for a caucus, for a primary, is to find out their issues.
Well, you
think Bernie's gonna? I'm voting Tom Steyer. Well, there's that. I guess there are other ones. Like, it didn't even occur to him. He gets in his face. He grabs his jacket. I mean, Joe Biden, he's lucky someone doesn't kick his ass.
Yeah.
That's true.
Here's something that I think is an important example when we're talking about Donald Trump and Joe Biden. People say Donald Trump is crazy or Donald Trump has typos in his tweets. Sure, that's because he's emotive when he tweets, right?
Yeah.
And he tweets like he speaks. But when he speaks, Donald Trump is able to finish his thoughts. So the people who hate Donald Trump, they immediately hate what Donald Trump is about to say when he starts his sentence because they know how it's going to end.
Right.
The people who don't like Joe Biden have to sit at rapt attention because they have no idea where this is going at any given moment.
That's the game they play.
Like Donald Trump is going to say, excuse me, listen, my wall. And people are like, okay, let's get through this. You're going to say it's going to be the best wall always. Whereas Joe Biden will be like, okay, listen, my wall, Humpty Dumpty didn't do the thing, and you're not going to find him there.
Not in one piece, at least. What if Joe Biden isn't capable? I mean, mentally, like he wouldn't be able to take care of
what if his mental faculties deteriorate further after you've already voted?
So there are
what
mechanisms.
about before, right now? Like right now, is somebody going to come up and say, well, hey, wait a minute, like if this keeps going?
For Joe Biden's faculties to deteriorate further, he would have to be just a head in a jar that you go see in a tent.
Okay. So what point here?
So by the way, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed. Hit all notifications because apparently just the notification bell doesn't mean a whole lot. And turn them on your app and on your phone. New videos go up every day at 9 or 8 Eastern? 9. 8? 9 Eastern.
9?
9 Eastern. I don't know.
Eastern,
Every day, if you're not subscribed, just check in and please do consider joining our club.
That's
right, podcast.
Podcast.
Okay, example number 3. He goes through this again. We took a bit of a detour there. He goes a step further when he's asked about the high number of illegals in the country, illegal immigrants who were deported under open. So here's someone who is actually, he doesn't even get to finish his question. From what I understand, the guy is actually further to the left of Joe Biden. Here you go.
Over those 8 years, there were 3 million people that were deported and separated from their families. We had this classification of families.
You should vote for Trump.
Families.
You should vote for Trump.
No, I'm not going to do that.
He's like
I'm not gonna do that.
He's the equivalent to like the jealous wife who only like, go with your secretary, you know you want to. No. See, I'm just saying, you had a lot of deportations. Go with Trump. You always wanted Trump. No. I don't want Trump. I don't want Trump. That's not what I want. I just want you to go just run into the arms of another. Okay. I don't think you're fit to be president.
He's literally like, oh, you're going to vote for me? You might vote for me? I'll slap you in the face.
He just doesn't like it if you bring up any criticism. Right. This could be the 2 thinnest skinned candidates ever.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be surprised if a debate is just Donald Trump saying, you said bad stuff about me. No, you said bad things about me. No, excuse me, you said bad things first. No, you said I'm going to take you out by the woodshed. You don't have a woodshed. You couldn't afford a woodshed. Hey, I'll show you my pay stubs as a vice president. Why'd you stop? So, example number, the second example, that's still my favorite one. Why am I stopping? No one else is stopping. Because you're I think it was a toss-up between the number 1 example and number 2, so these are kind of interchangeable.
Yeah.
But this one is pretty bad. This lit the internet ablaze. He doesn't respond well to, again, questions about his electability. Look at this insult that he throws back at this woman.
So how do you explain the performance in Iowa, and why should the voters believe that you can win the national election?
You ever been to a caucus? No, you haven't. You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. You said you were, but now you got to be honest. I'm going to be honest with you.
Lying dog-faced pony soldier? That's right up there with Charlie Sheen's droopy-eyed, armless children.
Oh my God!
Only he's running for president.
Where is this like a saying anywhere? Like, do we this come from a movie?
She kind of looks like a dog a little bit.
Is there? Well,
this is like when those
she's not
moments.
ugly.
No, she's not ugly. But she like a cute one.
Yeah, right. Yeah, like a little pug
I
or
don't
something.
understand. Is she? Is this like a movie reference?
He claimed it was
That's what
John
I'm asking.
Wayne, but Audio was saying like people were combing through the back catalog.
It was never said in any.
It was never said anywhere.
Well,
yeah.
And by the way, this is somebody who was enough of a supporter to get like prime seating right behind the stage with him.
I will tell you this. You know what this tells me more. So obviously we're laughing. It kind of goes back to when Obama said, people. Now my mom always used to say, "Don't get all wee-weed up," and people are like, "What the fuck? Wee-weed up?"
Yeah.
And he said that was a term that we used to have back in Hawaii, and people looked it up. Like, no, that's a term that was never ever used.
Yeah.
Just like Joe Biden, this is emblematic of the same problem. Where he talked about every morning I go down to Amy's Diner and I grab a cup of coffee, and Amy's Diner had been closed for 26 years.
Yeah.
It's not just that he misspeaks, it's that they don't see any kind of accountability from the media. Barack Obama just thought, well, I'll just say we meet up as a term and that'll be the end of it.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden just thought, I'll say, what is it, lying, pony face, dog face, pony lying.
soldier.
I'll just say it was a John Wayne film and no one will look it up because back in the day
doesn't
there wasn't a
exist.
show like this.
Right.
It's not a real thing.
Twitter isn't going to happen.
He just, there are people embellish, right?
Yeah.
This happens. People embellish stories. And I've done it on this show sometimes because we're obviously trying to entertain you, or we take a story and you amplify it. Maybe it's an 8 and you turn it up to a 10. Joe Biden creates stories about people he's never met with places that he's never been in restaurants and establishments that don't even exist.
He's very creative.
Remember when he first became VP and he was like, I met the Pope. And the Pope was like, no.
Never met you.
Pope's like, you never sniffed me, buddy.
Get his hand
And he was
slapped.
going into depth, like, and I clutched his red shoe, and I said, hey, you don't mess with Joe, and who stopped? So here's the prime example for if you were expecting something more substantial with it. No, this is just so remarkably funny to me.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is if he runs for president, I don't really know that's going to be a substantial debate.
No.
The only vote he'll get is a sympathy vote at that point. Like, stop punching him. He's down.
Yeah, I
That
do
kind of
think
thing.
that
So we
I think
got to be careful.
I think if anything, Donald Trump needs to pull his
Pull
punches
back a
a little
little,
bit
yeah.
because otherwise it can just look
might be
like
too much.
It could look
Yeah.
like a Clockwork Orange with the hobo.
Yeah. It's bad news.
I make up. So the prime
Poor
example.
Joe.
This one, it's tough to hear if you're listening on audio. I love how that's audio wage line. Come on, that's enough, guys. This one is so it's tough. You'll miss it if you skip a beat, but it's so childish. It's so petty when he's been asked. He's asked by this guy about the potential baggage of his son's ties with the Ukraine. Just watch.
And you want to check my shape on, let's do push-ups together, man. Let's do whatever you want to do.
He's always doing the push-ups. Now look at this.
I'm not going to get in an argument with you, man. Well, I don't want to. Well, yeah, you do.
This lady's got to sign all that.
Look, Fat, look.
Oh my!
For those who missed it, it happened so quickly. He called him. He didn't say you're fat. He said, "Look, fat."
Yeah.
Like even if
Was
he
the
couldn't
guy's
get that
name
right-
Pat?
No, the guy. I
That's my only.
I mean, he should
You know
throw
what?
him a
He
bone.
could use that excuse if
Yeah.
he hadn't just challenged this fat man to push-ups.
Yes, and the man didn't actually. He happens to be
So,
fat.
you know
so
what? I
yeah.
thought his name was Pat. Really? Is this not you grabbing his rolls and shaking them later? That was a lapse in judgment. I'll give you that.
I love how he's turned this into like American Ninja Warrior. Only through feats of strength will I win my way to the presidency.
What? You want to ask me about my son to Ukraine? Watch me roll this frying pan. Look at that. Give me a phone book. Bring me a hot water bottle. I can explode it using. I'll use nothing but my lungs. Who stopped? I think I love how he just calls him fat. He goes, "Listen here, fat." He doesn't say
look here,
fat,
fat.
so fat ass. I don't know, you fat piece of shit, whatever it is that someone might say who's trying to insult someone and be a little bit more, be a little bit more biting, make it sting. He just calls him. He calls him fat like it's a proper noun. Like, listen here, fat. Not even Mr. Fat. Not even Senior Fat Sis.
Nothing.
I mean, there's so many options you could go to. Like, you could make it sting. And by the way, I thought maybe because the guy wasn't really that fat.
It was not.
He was a little overweight, and I thought maybe that's Joe Biden showing because you know what? If you really want to make someone self-conscious, you don't pick the person who's obese and call them fat. They already know they're obese. You pick the guy who's maybe put on a few pounds, and you'll live rent-free inside his head forever. But I don't think Joe Biden has that kind of foresight. That's the kind of thing Donald Trump would do.
Yes.
Donald Trump is a master at that, and
Yep.
I wouldn't be surprised if he does that during the debates, where you know Joe Biden gets up, maybe has an unflattering suit, and Donald Trump gets up and goes like, "Hey, listen, all right, we're gonna enjoy ourselves tonight, just like you do at the buffet table, right? We see that, Joe. I'm kidding. What? Huh? You want to do crunchies?
Captain Crunchies.
Or just like subtly reminds him where he is, like what city he's in, just to make sure everybody knows we're in Raleigh, North Carolina.
That's for Joe.
And you're
That's for
at
Joe.
a debate.
What? Who stopped? I need to find out where he's going, and I want to challenge Joe Biden to a push-up contest.
That would
He
be good.
always
that
challenges
would be
everyone to
great.
push. It's either push-ups or fights, and I am quite
Hold on.
certain that he has not done either of those things.
Yeah.
You got to do that under Drew. You know how they did like the under Drew, undercover Drew? They would get the guy, the
Undercover
I can't remember.
Drew?
Yeah. So it was a
Undercover
young
boss.
pro basketball player who would then go out as Uncle Drew, and they would like put this professional makeup on him, and he'd go out there and like hobble
Old man
around and be
makeup.
like, "Hey, let me just play," and they'd be like, "All right," and you go like do beach ball, and then they go out there, and then you just be like dunking on them.
Yeah.
You got to do that.
That would be awesome.
amazing.
You should do the
could
old
just-
man, and then you get up out of your wheelchair and out push up him or something.
Look. We could easily make you look like Gerald, and no one would suspect you could do a push-up.
You know
I could
what
do
though?
that.
Now I'm psyching myself out because he seems so confident. Maybe he's really good at push-ups.
Maybe
No.
he can.
No, maybe he's just insane.
Let's
you know
do-
what? I'm
rips
going to
off
go
that
with
button
crazy,
shirt.
but I tell you what, I think it's going to be Joe Biden, and I am really. Let me know what you are looking forward to most with those debates. For me, it's that hopefully that Joe Biden at one point. I don't want to say I'm looking forward to it, but I think what will be the climax of the debates is Donald Trump will enter. Probably stage right, stage left. I don't know. Let's assume it's stage right.
Fireworks.
And he'll come out and he'll do his thing. Right. He'll probably insult somebody. Good for him. And then Joe Biden will come out and then he poops. So. Hey, if you enjoyed this video, subscribe or hit the notification bell and hit all notifications because not all notifications work now if you just hit the normal notification bell. I think there's some videos playing in boxes. But, of course, do consider subscribing at louderwithcrowder.com/mugclub because there's a bunch of content that could never make it onto YouTube. And I think the box is playing – there's a video playing in a box with –